everyone, my name's Cathy. Welcome to Skint Living UK. Welcome to Frugal Friday. This is where I talk about viewers' tips, tricks and comments. I've been a little bit upset because I've been looking at people's comments and people have answered my video on 10 reasons why not to go to work straight from the heart, and people are so upset. I've just been looking up minimum wages across a few countries and it's just appalling. So I'll talk a bit more about that at the end, but if I'm it's because of just looking at this stuff. It's heartening. Anyway, on a lighter note, I've had a new commenter over the last week or so, Jan Johnson 5209. Thank you, Jan. You've made some very good and valid points this week, and you've been giving us some top tips about how you manage your things. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. She said she'd done a freezer audit. Sue I50B, a regular commenter. Hello, Sue. Lovely to hear from you again. And she'd done a freezer audit too. Jan said she found lots of meat and a kilo of blackberries. Oh, that's amazing. She said she made blackberry wine last autumn. I'm so jealous. I'd love to be able to do that. When I move, it's definitely going to be one of the things I want to do, because I just think it's ideal, isn't it? If you find some reduced fruit, or you go foraging or grow some yourself, I think that's such a lovely idea, blackberry wine. What's not to like? Sue said, which I thought was funny, it's amazing what was lurking in there in the bottom of her freezer. I must admit, I do need to do that myself. I've got lots of tubs of batch cooking that I've done that's sitting there. I need to start eating them. I've had one or two, but I've literally got loads. So I need to work my way through them. I might have a freezer week where I just eat the freezer food to save some money. So it might be the way to go, because I need some more plasterboard for upstairs. I want to get the upstairs hall plastered. So maybe that's where I can get the money from. Kitchen worker 446. That lady's made a few comments this week. Thank you, honey. I don't know your name, but thank you anyway. She came across a really heartening tip. She says this extreme frugal tip. She knows an older lady who couldn't afford to keep her house warm, so she bought a pop-up tent and slept in it on top of her bed. Two thoughts came to mind when I thought, oh my god, that lady must be so desperate. And the second thought, it reminded me of in like Tudor times, I think it was it, or Georgian times, where they had box beds where it literally was boxed in and there was a door. If there wasn't a door, there was curtains. Apparently, I googled box beds and they've become trendy again. I think they've become trendy again because people are freezing in bed. They might be aesthetically pleasing, but it's because people can't afford to put the heating on. Kids and grandkids 840. Hello, hon. Nice to hear from you again. I did a video about how I save plastic trays and tubs from like fruit and veggies, like mushroom tubs or strawberry tubs, raspberry tubs, that sort of thing. Some of them have holes in the bottom and I use them as organisers in drawers and organisers in my fridge, and a few people answered that they did the same. Kids and grandkids said she uses ice cream tubs, Lego and drawer and stuff. She uses jars for pins and homemade soup. Sounds lovely. And she said her generation will use toffee tins for all manner of things. People collect those tins now, don't they? And Taffy Nige says he uses his containers, the ones with the holes in, for growing cress and mustard. Yeah, and Sharon Green GC3YM, she said she uses hers for seedlings too, and she uses or reuses the jars for her pantry. Yeah, makes sense. Sue made a funny comment. She said she's got a problem. She can't throw away a jar. same. I'm reluctant to put it in the recycling. I was saying to my son who lives in Scotland, do you want me to send you some jars? He was like, no, Mum, I've got loads of my own. So I think he's causing off me. She says she makes homemade chutney and marmalade. That's like, so you're so industrious. You just no, nothing gets past you. You work so hard, keeping every penny you've got, and you're so industrious with all the things you do. And homemade chutney and marmalade, yum yum yum. Oh gosh, what's not to like? I did a downsizing video. There was a user whose name looks like Ebenezer, but it's EB3NEZ3R. They're planning on downsizing, and they want to go down a couple of council tax bands, which is local tax in the UK, because it'll save a ton of money. Me too. I want a small place with small council tax, because here in Liverpool it's going up again in April. Liverpool is always in the top 3 of the most highest in the UK of council tax charges. Always the highest. And what do we see for it? The bins really get emptied. The roads are still full of potholes. The police don't respond to anything. If something happens in Liverpool, as it's the same way you are in the UK, if say you were burgled, mugged or anything like that and you ring the police, 9 times out of the 10 they just give you a crime number. They don't even bother turning up. Make of that what you will. Is that a shortfall in police or a severe case of, well, you're not important, bugger off? D. Riley Media, hello honey, nice to hear from you. She said she bought a 2-bed bungalow last November and she felt obsessed at first because it was so small, but she likes it now and it's cosy. Yeah, I think it is hard to downsize, isn't it? We downsized in 2020 and the change was so different. The houses were very similar, but our older house had really high ceilings. These have got high ceilings, but not as high as our old house, and the rooms are smaller. So it is. And again, I'm on a downsize to a 1-bed if I can. She got a 2-bed. I prefer 1, so it's even smaller, less to care for, and smaller bills. As us Scousers would say, you're being a tight horse. I've had Simplex say a few comments over the week. Thank you, honey. I did a video about how I'm lining a denim jacket with a blanket because it's quite baggy on me, so I've got the wiggle room. And she went, yay, custom made gear. Well, yeah, I'm adapting it because I just think I didn't want to buy a new jacket for autumn, spring, autumn, a warmer one, and I thought, well, I've got that jacket there, it made sense to line it with a blanket, so I've got a warmer jacket there, but not really padded and thick. It's just, when the weather's sort of in between, it's not absolutely freezing, but it's not boiling either. So thank you for that. So she said she's lining her picnic basket. It's going to be like a knitting basket, and she's been doing English paper piecing, which are little hexagons that you sew together. There's a lovely channel called The Last Homely House. There's a lady there, Kate. She's just so nice. She does lots of different quilting methods. Fascinating to watch, and she produces some beautiful quilts. Fascinating, and she knows loads of artistic people, even in her family. So good. So if you ever get a chance, go and watch The Last Homely House. I'm not affiliated to her. She wouldn't know me if she bumped into me or anything. So there's no motivation behind it. No hidden motivation there. I've started doing a Cheapy Tuesday video, so watch out for that, where I show what bargains I've got that week or a bargain tip. And people seem to respond to the fact that I got a Terry Pratchett book. I love Terry Pratchett books. I've got loads of them. Simplex and Lovely Sue said they like Terry Pratchett too. I like the witches books. I just think they're so funny, and I like the Death Trilogy more and all that, because they're just brilliant. So if you're ever looking for any book to read, look out for Terry Pratchett. I love science fiction, and Terry Pratchett's Kate, science fantasy, and I love the movies and all that, and the Good Omens series is good, so I can't wait for the last one to come because it looks like it's going to be good. I had a bit of a moan this week because eBay keeps changing everything. They've done about 3 or 4 changes in 1 month. And then I got another email saying they're updating the user agreements. It's just never ending. And it's so pants. I hardly sell anything anymore. And I'm trying to get rid of my clutter. And it's just not shifting. I've got loads of watchers. Loads of people watching. No buggers buying now. Yeah, so let's go back to this reasons not to go to work video that I did. So I just thought there was a lot of reactions. People are like singing from the same song sheet, as they say. People are fed up with basically going to work and having nothing to show for it. It's just like Shirin Ayan, Ayhan, sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong. She said, people don't want to be rats in the race anymore, and you don't even get cheese at the end. I think that says it all, doesn't it? Just excuse me a minute, I'm just going to have a little sip of coffee, my throat's dry. I'm sorry for the noise in the background, my dog's snoring in front of the fire. She looks like she's been shot. Sue, who often comments, she said she works for the local authority, so that's like a local government job, and she was fired and rehired 4 times, and each time the wages went down. See, these things don't make the press, they don't make the news, do they? People are treated like fodder. 4 times? She said the last one she was just barely above minimum wage. Government jobs years ago used to be a good job, council job. Clearly not anymore. I'm sorry to hear that, Sue. It's just like they just take the neck out of people, they really do. Everyone's dispensable. Look in America, but everyone, government jobs have been they've been all fired there. Loads of people being laid off because of a new regime being in. If that is an autocracy, I don't know what is. Sharon Green says a lot of people are going to work just to pay the gas and electricity companies, yeah, because our bills have gone up again. We have the highest gas and electricity bills in Europe. I don't know what we're like compared to Canada and Australia. I know they're having a tough time as well as the US. It's just never ending. It's coming at us from every direction. Groceries, energy, insurance, and the worst of all is housing. It's just like a license to print money. These owners could literally wallpaper their houses with notes, dollar notes or pound notes, because they're just making money hand over fist. Amanda JC2996, I think this encapsulates it so well. She pays money to maintain her old car to get to work, and I pay for a house that I feel I'm never in, because she's always in work. It's madness, isn't it? People are doing 2 jobs, or they've got loads of side hustles, or selling the stuff that they don't want to sell, not like me declustering, I mean selling stuff. In 2018-19, when I was struggling to pay my mortgage because I was doing agency work, I sold on most of my jewellery, because I was just like, what can you do? Me and the kids needed a roof over our heads. I didn't need pretty jewellery. Needs must. When you're broke, you just got to suck it up and get on with it, haven't you? Because no one, unfortunately, is coming to rescue us. No one is coming to do anything. Yeah, so let's look at minimum wages. In the UK, it's currently £11.82. £12. Politicians are on over 91,000 a year, plus expenses, plus subsidised dinner, drinks and booze. So is that right? That's the US equivalent of $14.94. In Canada, they are being paid $17.70. That's the UK equivalent of £9.85, so they don't even get paid a tenner. So sounds a lot in dollars, $17.70, but it's less than 10 UK pounds. Australia, they're getting in July a pay rise to $24.10. That works out at the UK equivalent of £12.17. These big companies are laughing at us. They are taking the pay out of us, aren't they? And the worst is America, to be honest, because it depends what state you're in. The federal minimum wage is $7.25, which works out at £5.73 here. The worst is waitresses and waiters, because I know in some states, I don't know if it still applies, people are being paid just over $2 an hour because the National Restaurant Association, which are called the second NRA, because there's the National Rifle Association, are fascists, for want of a better word, because they bully. They have a strong lobbying force which keeps politicians in check to make sure it keeps going. So people are literally, I've got to kiss people's bums when they're serving people in restaurants so that they get a decent tip because their wages are so low. So that's what I wanted to say really at the end, is politicians are the problem, not us, because they are hand in glove with all these companies and lobbyists, backhanders, sweeteners, no free tickets to the football or free tickets to this, that and the other, nice plush cars or whatever it is they get. And they don't want things to change because they're on the gravy train. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Sorry to end on a bummer, but at the moment the world is a bummer of a place, and that's why I don't watch the news, because I think it's bad for your mental health. I really genuinely hope you're well, and thank you for all the interesting and pertinent comments this week. It's been enlightening. I thought there was the sort of thing going on, but people have just confirmed my worst suspicions. So I hope you're well. I'll look after you and yours. Bye for now.